Good morning, everybody. This video is supposed to help you with solving systems of equations to answer word problem type questions. So to get really good at math, we're going to be solving some word problems, obviously. It's not just algebra. And these are 4 steps that we're going to need to really get good with when it comes to answering math questions that have word problems attached to them. Number 1, we're going to have to assign variables. I'll show you how to do that. We have to learn to develop the system. This is the part that frustrates students sometimes, but with practice you get better and better. Number 3, we're going to be solving the system. That's what we've been practicing all last week. And then finally, you have to answer the question using words. So with a word problem, it's inappropriate to answer the question with an ordered pair like we've been doing. You want to consider context of the problem so that your answer actually makes sense. So there's 4 steps. You'll want to sort of study those to make sure that we're employing them correctly. And now we're going to jump right in. So let's read this together. Brenda's school is selling tickets to the spring musical. On the first day, they sold 3 senior tickets and 9 child tickets, and they brought in a whopping $75. The school brought in $67 on the second day, but they sold a different number of senior tickets and a different number of child tickets. So what is the price for 1 senior ticket and 1 child ticket? A typo there. That's okay. We're going to keep going. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to consider is assigning variables. So I'm going to use the word let. This is really good. And I'm going to let C stand for child's ticket. Child's ticket price. Okay, we're talking about seniors, and so I often would use the letter S, but I'm not going to use S because it looks like a 5. I'm just going to put A down for the senior ticket. I'm thinking of seniors as adults, and that's why I chose the letter A. Seniors ticket price. Okay, I'm identifying for the person reading my problem what C and A are standing for. A lot of students just want to use X and Y, and that's okay, but variables aren't always just X and Y. Okay, now we go back and read the word problem again. On the first day, they sold 3 senior tickets. So I'm thinking of the value of 3 senior tickets. A is the price per ticket. So can we see our first equation is going to be 3 times A. That's the value of the senior tickets. But we have to add to that the value of the children's tickets. We sold 9 children's tickets on that day. So that's 9C, and the total for that day, once again, was $75. So we can see in this question, this is in standard form, isn't it? Okay, so this is a standard form of an equation. All right, on day 2, a similar thing happens, but a different number of adult tickets were sold, different number of child tickets were sold. We know that the total is $67, so I'm going to put my 67 down, and now we will write the rest of the equation. You have to read carefully. You have to read 2 or 3 times sometimes to make sure you get it straight. On the second day, they sold 8 adult or senior tickets. So that is 8A. And then 5 children's tickets. That's plus 5 children's tickets. So there's our first day's equation. There's our second day's equation. And we're going to solve this system using linear combinations. This system is terrible for substitution. Substitution is a nightmare. So you can see why we learned 2 different techniques for solving systems. So here we go. I'm referring to my notes because the numbers get a little bit big with these sometimes. So I want these 2 coefficients to be opposites of each other. I need them to be opposites of each other so that we can add them together and that variable will drop out. So, can you see that both 3 and 8 go into 24 evenly? 24 is called the least common multiple. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna multiply the top equation by 8. So I'm gonna multiply the top equation by 8 on both sides. I'm gonna multiply the bottom equation by -3. I'm multiplying by -3. The reason for this is then these two coefficients will be opposites of each other. So recopying both of these, I have 24a plus 72c equals, and 75 times 8 is 600. Okay, the numbers are big, but that's okay. Multiplying through by -3, that gives us -24a minus 15c equals, and this is -201. Make sure you're using your calculator with these. When we combine these two equations together, these terms are going to drop out, which is what we're looking for. And 72c minus 15c is 57c. The number on the right side is 399, so it's easy to be intimidated by these numbers, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed so we get a number that looks good. I'm dividing both sides by 57, and now I use my calculator on 399 divided by 57, and I get c equals 7. Okay, I'm pleased by that. The number c equals 7, we need to say to ourselves, what does c represent? Oh, it's the child's ticket price. So we basically know children's tickets are $7 now, don't we? So we'll be able to answer half of the question now. I'm going to put a little cloud over here. This is where I'm going to write my final statement down that shows that I know everything about this system. And how do you think we're going to figure out how much those senior tickets are? We need to know A still, right? So I have a choice, just like we did all last week. I can plug that number that I just found, which is the C value, I can plug it into either of the top two equations. I'm going to look to see which one's easier. I don't know, the top one maybe looks a little bit easier. The top equation is turning into 3a plus 9 times 7 equals 75. This is 3a plus 63 equals 75. If I subtract 63 from both sides, this gives me 3a equaling 12. And if I divide by 3, it looks like we're getting a equals 4. Up until now, I've asked you to write ordered pairs down, saying, oh, 4, 7. But here's the thing. If you just say 4, 7, have you really answered the question? To me, the answer is no. You should say, the price for one senior ticket is, the one senior ticket, that was A, right? $4. And the child's ticket price must be, the child's was C, $7. Okay, hopefully this helps you with solving word problems. Good luck.